Okay guys, man oh man, this has been one hell of a week. We've got a lot to talk about regarding Spider-Man PS4, and we've had some massive news this week. We've had like 2 or 3 big gameplay reveals. We've had the demo, but we are going to be discussing everything that's happened in this demo. And then there's a few other things that we're going to be talking about that I'll put in another video for you. But man, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened in this demo, and Insomniac Games, they brought the thunder. They really pulled out every big gun possible for this E3. For the final 3 or 4 months until they launch the game. Let's just get right into this, okay? As we can see, we've seen Electro features in this demo. Now, he's a little bit of a different design. It's kind of, they've obviously took their own take on it, which is fine. And I noticed the scarring on his face, and Bill Roseman explained later on in the week when the creators from Insomniac Games and Bill Roseman were being asked questions later on in the week, that it's actually the scarring is in the design of Electro's mask. If you're familiar with Electro from the comic books, he always had this kind of bright yellow mask over his face, so that is to sort of emulate that, but just as a scar. So it's a very unique take on trying to visualize their own character. But that's pretty cool. I like Electro. Certainly he looks a formidable foe, very fast, very quick. Not quite sure what the tactic will be to take him down yet. But, and then here we can see we have another villain. Insomniac Games didn't just bring one villain, no. They brought Rhino as well. Now, he does look pretty hench, Rhino looks pretty good. I must admit, I think he's the one that I kind of like the appearance of the most. And, he's obviously another great villain that Insomniac have included. But we have another one. We have Scorpion, who joins the party. Now, Scorpion looks pretty cool as well, I can't lie. I do like the way Scorpion looks. The only thing that I initially found a little distracting was the red eyes, the lenses. But, I'm getting used to them, and everything else looks superb. But, again, we see more combat here. We see Spider-Man absolutely going to town on the inmates. Now, we actually do see, in a little while, but we do see, I'm assuming you guys have already seen this footage, but it's just there to, if you haven't, you can see it, and see for yourself, basically. But we do get another villain. We get Vulture announced in the demo. Now, Vulture is another interesting villain. Obviously, we saw him not too long ago in Spider-Man Homecoming. But the interesting thing with this is that these are all members, I think, near enough, of the original Sinister Six. So, is this a kind of Insomniac's own Sinister Six that they're going for here, that they're trying to create? Because it certainly seems that way, and if they are, I'm totally fine with that. It looks awesome. here comes Vulture now, and the way this was introduced was amazing. Look at that. That's just, you can't get any better than that. You really can't. But see, the other thing that everybody wants to know, that we've been scratching our heads over for the last couple of days, is right at the end of this demo, right at the end of it, and not to spoil it, but like I said, I'm assuming you guys have seen it, we see the emergence, if you like, of another villain. A villain who is not shown to us, who is kept in the shadows. The demo cuts off, leaves us on a cliffhanger, which is what Insomniac has always done, and thank God the game's coming out soon, because I don't know how many more of them I can take. But the speculation has begun as to who this mysterious villain could be. Some people have thought it's not a villain. I personally, from the minute I saw it, I never thought it was going to be anybody other than a villain. I always thought it was going to be a villain because of the way Spider-Man reacts, because of the tone of his voice, the words he uses. There's no way that it cannot be anybody other than a villain. But the way he does address it is very interesting. It does imply that, where Insomniac Games have been saying since the start, that this is a very personal story between Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It's as much a Peter Parker story as it is a Spider-Man story. The way Spider-Man speaks when he sees this character, it makes you think he knows him. It obviously falls into line with that personal touch that Insomniac Games is going for. I really don't know who it is. Here we have Mr. Negative. He's turned up yet again, so he's obviously involved in this. This isn't like he's not separate to the Sinister Six. He's looking like he's part of a possible Sinister Six, and certainly he says something more or less in this scene now which implies he is part of that, and that they're all working for this surprise leader who we don't see. It's very, very interesting. I don't know. I mean, speculation is that obviously with Norman Osborn being in the game that it's Green Goblin. I don't know. I mean, I still think Doc Ock I should say, but that is what I'm thinking. But as we can see here, Spider-Man is getting absolutely ruined, and you know, it looks like the Sinister Five at the minute have more than took him down. But here we go, here's the money shot, and Spider-Man now looks up, sees somebody, but the expression, the vocals on the voice, he's more than surprised as to who it is. The question is, who could it be? So if you think you know, drop a comment below, let me know, and if you could hit that like button, and I will catch you in the next one. See you guys.